started in 2003 by Elizabeth Kleinhans. She had worked occasionally in off and off-Broadway New York theater and was concerned about some of the facilities and had a dream about making a really nice space for audiences to attend shows and for artists to perform in off and off-Broadway theater, and had the opportunity to take this space at East 59th Street and turn it into 3 small theater spaces to serve that community.
It was a little 2-story building with nothing in it, and it was commercial and so forth. And so I maneuvered to get this little building, and that was going to be my theater. So I got an architect, and we ended up designing this place, and we gutted the building, and we created 59. We designed it. I mean, I worked very closely with the architect. I worked very closely with the construction company. I had my own ideas. I wasn't really looking to copy anybody.
Elizabeth is someone who I was told I had to meet when I moved to New York. I had a friend who said, if you meet nobody else in the theater, there's this woman you have to meet, just trust me.
If little companies are coming, I want them to be able to have a nice experience. So that was the impetus.
I think the facilities here are not facilities that companies our size often have access to, or at least early in their career. And so to be able to bring our audience here and feel like they're seeing a play, not only in a building that has other art going on at the same time, but also in a place that matches the quality of the work and feels really clean and professional and lovely is great.
One of my favorite things about 59, and it might sound a little basic, but it is a well-maintained building. So when you walk inside, you're like, oh, great. This is not gonna fall down around our ears.
What 59 does that is different from many venues is we try to make sure that the theater companies can just come and find everything here. All the lighting equipment they need is here. All the sound equipment that they need is here. We have professional staff who are taking care of the audience, who are selling the tickets, and we facilitate everything that's not on the stage.
We are a smaller organization. We don't have a staff to create marketing, publicity, and outreach. But here, all of that happened through 59 staffing, and it was amazing. It was wonderful for us.
59 really comes to the table as a partner and takes care of all the things that for someone like me, who's a small organization, they make everything possible that would be kind of impossible.
We would never be able to perform in New York if we didn't have the resources that 59 has provided, the affordable rent, and then the incredible marketing machine. It's unheard of. Nobody's doing this. It's like, I wish everybody everywhere would figure this out.
I loved making the transition from advocating for individual artists to really being a champion of theater companies. To figure out where they want to be in 5 years is a conversation that I have with a lot of the companies. Like, what are your goals and what can we do to support you in that journey?
We love Val. We love the input she's given us, the support she's given us. We feel like she's a true kind of mentor and ally in the work that we're doing.
So I think Val Day is a genius. She is incredibly supportive and knowledgeable about plays.
Thank you so much for honoring me. You make us greater. We make each other better.
Her notes after a show are incredible. They are incredibly helpful. And I always just go, give me more, give me more, give me more. What did you think? What did you think? She knows scripts. She knows playwrights. She knows how hard it is to do a world premiere.
I get a little mushy when I talk about Brian sometimes because his job as the managing director is to make the artistic director's visions come true. Nobody told me that when I took the job there was going to be somebody doing that. It was like Christmas.
I really appreciate them both as the leaders of this organization. You know, they have long experience and are very much leaders in their own right.
From beginning to end, from soup to nuts, whether we were in pre-production and the opening and the load-in and the run of the show and the closing of the show and the load-out, I just felt that Brian and Val both had our backs, so we didn't have to worry.
We always felt that having a bunch of happy staff people was very, very important, and that would make all the difference.
We have the best staff at 59/59. I've worked a lot of places, and I can tell you 100%, no exaggeration, at the way that they support each other and the kindness and generosity that they show to our audience members is unparalleled.
I have always believed that our customer service was the most important thing, and the key to that is nice is nice.
The team of people that I've been able to work with over the years are some of the funniest, warmest, most creative people I've encountered in the city. And it just makes it a joy to come to work and a joy to be here and serve the public.
Nothing works better than that.
There's always this sense that we can help you. And that is what we all want.
And they were really supportive of our ideas. Like, we came to them with the idea of doing something called a union night. So if you're a card-carrying member of a union, you could come see the show for free. And they, instead of shutting us down and being like, well, that's not something we do, they were like, of course, that sounds so amazing.
Somebody comes up with a great suggestion and I don't say, well, how much is that going to cost, or what is that going to do to the organization, or how difficult is it going to be? I just said, yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
The biggest difference that I perceive working at 59 versus other venues that we've worked at is that when we're here, we feel like we're part of a community.
You know everybody at the box office, you know everybody in the marketing team, you know the creative staff, the tech staff, and they really care about making sure that the show gets done and that people see the show and that you're happy with what you're putting on.
If we have situations that are difficult and perhaps need solving, there's always someone here that if we can't get it solved, we can at least talk it through and talk about creative suggestions to solve the problem. So that is the huge, huge difference.
What I love most about working at 59E59 are the people. They are loving, they're friendly, they are always welcoming to questions, big or small, and they always show up.
It's a huge plus for me to work in an environment where people really care about the show and they care about the messaging.
There's such a variety of shows that come through these doors, and so I really enjoy being part of the support team that helps put these stories out into the world.
We have up to 30 shows, and then counting E2E, it can run into the 40s and 45 shows. The companies notice that the staff is tuned in. A lot of them see almost every single show that runs here.
They are active participants in the work. They want the work to succeed. The staff is so full of love and selflessness. They really support the not fun part of doing theater and let us as creatives do the artistic, focus on the artist, really be able to focus on the work itself.
Generosity just feels like, for me, the word of the day at 59 is that everyone here seems in service of the work and here to serve the artists and lift up the productions and lift up the theater that's happening here.
The mission of Primary Stages is to share, inspire, support, and produce the art of playwriting. And you can't do that alone. You need a village to put up a play. You need a playwright, you need directors, you need actors, you need a production company, but also you need a place to put that play. The relationship we have with 59 makes that all easier. There's a reason that not a lot of people do this. It's because it's really hard, and 59 just makes it a little easier.
I think that the program at 59 is some of the bravest and most courageous programming in New York, and to consider ourselves part of that programming is beyond an honor.
It became necessary to push the shows as being something that we were doing, because we were choosing the shows, and therefore they were a reflection of us.
I have the opportunity to grow and develop as an artist here because so much of the work that's inspired my own over the past few years has come from productions I've seen in these theaters.
Brits Off-Broadway is an annual program that features new work from the UK. It's a lot of indie theater companies. These are the kind of shows that wouldn't normally be transferred to Broadway and things like that, so most Americans would never be exposed to this work, and it's always been vitally important to us to get those works over here.
Since the beginning of Brits Off-Broadway, one of the places where we go to search for new work is the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, held in that Scottish city. each August. One of the things right from the get-go that we were interested in is American companies that are going to the Edinburgh Fringe. So we started our own mini Fringe festival called East to Edinburgh.
The East to Edinburgh Festival is invaluable. Being able to try out your show here first and have it ready to go. When you hit the ground running over there, it is a blessing to have done it.
The thing that we value so much is also the subscribers and the people, the audience that 59 brings, and every time we produce here, we grow our reach and expand who's able to see our shows.
They say, what's next for you? And oh, I'm gonna be I have a season at 59, and they're like, oh, I know that theater. People in freaking Houston, you know, people in Salt Lake, people all over the country know about this place. It's like instant cred.
I'm most proud of our reputation. I think we have a really good reputation. I think the companies that come love coming to us and they want to come back, at least most of them. I think out in the industry, people acknowledge that we do interesting and good work. So I'm very proud of that.
Once I started to pay attention to the audience and see the effect that the performances had on the audience, their reaction, their desire to talk about the show during intermission and after the show, I was kind of hooked.
The audiences here are smart and creative and engaged, and part of what we try to do is engage the audience as storytellers and sort of imaginative participants in the work. And these audiences are so game for that.
I've heard people say, well, I come to see whatever's playing here because I know it's going to be good. Great.
So Val told me once that there are people in the neighborhood who come by at 6:30 and say, well, what's on tonight? I wanted to catch something. Like you go to a movie theater or something. And that's amazing. That's what every theater person wants.
This is the third time I've been here this week, and we just keep coming back because great content, such a variety of plays.
A small setting in which you can connect with the performance, and it can be an intimate, more powerful experience. Prefer to come here than Broadway.
There's no place else in New York that I know of that has this kind of theater.
I think that theater is a truly communal experience. And I don't mean that in a hippie way. I just mean that in the way of people in real life bouncing off each other and connecting and having shared aha moments. And you know, in the theaters, their heartbeats sync up.
Well, the E-Bar is always fun. I've never had a bad time at the E-Bar.
And I love being at the bar and seeing the people from downstairs or the audience members who maybe saw your play last week and are back to see another play this week, and that's a really fun community.
It's fantastic to have the E-Bar as a location to visit with the audience after the show.
So Brian, what do you think lies ahead for us here at this theater in the next, say, 5 years?
I think we have developed relationships with theater companies, young and mid-career, as we would say, throughout the theater community, that I think that we will always be fine in being able to find the people who are ready to do the work and to give them the support that they need. We have the flexibility to figure out how we can continue to do our main mission of supporting theater companies and getting their shows in front of audiences.
There is a major endowment, so it should keep going. I hope it'll keep going. I hope it'll be successful.
Happy anniversary, 59E59.
20 years of greatness.
You can't drink yet, but that's okay.
We can at the E-Bar.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, 59E59.
Happy 20th, 59E59 Theaters.
Happy anniversary, 59.
Woo!
We love you.
Happy anniversary, 59E59 Theaters.
Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary.
59, E59.